Oh yeah, dude, goated tool. That's one of
Holy shit, bro.
All right, we're getting this show on the road. Guessing everyone can see Harold's chat. We should be good to go. Let's go ahead and get the show on the road. To our other playlist over here, our good old background music. For the guys watching over on WAP or watching the recording over on WAP, let me know. You should also see my name in the top left-hand corner of the screen. Yep, everything's all good, double checking. And yeah, we see Harold there. We can highlight Harold. Cool. Yeah, man. We're gonna have streams that are a lot more fun. I've had some pretty popular streams before during my prior streaming hiatuses, but with the way things are set up now, and with especially the PineScript mentorship streams that will start occurring more frequently. We had the first PineScript mentorship live stream yesterday. And we'll end up building a few open source indicators and libraries on stream. So all these fancy indicators and whatnot you'll see on the stream, these are indicators that I've made. And if you don't know who I am, Joe Boss. I'm your boss. I build indicators on TradingView. I try and focus on statistical indicators, but I've built a few technical ones way back when. And nowadays, I sell my stuff on Wapier. So if you want to hop in to the Discord where we do all of our trade research, you can check out the research forum over here. Zoom in on that. Today we had some news. Let's get into the topics of the stream today, yeah? What do you guys think? You think maybe we should talk about how Trump said a little something about a particular crypto reserve, right? So let's get on into that. I've been good in making sure that we are on top of things today. So we'll just move some of these things to the right. This is some commentary we'll get into later when we start talking about the tariffs, which is the second part of the stream here. So So yeah, just as a reminder, if you want access to the trading group, if you want access to these indicators, you just go to Boss Trading Group plus Indicators, check out the options there. And then there is one-on-ones in the PineScript mentorship, and a lot of that is free. There will be some WAP-only exclusive streams coming down the pike, and those will be free to watch in here. Those will mostly, I want to keep the streams for like an hour for the PineScript mentorship stuff on YouTube and on Kick, and then I'll go ahead and move everything past 1 hour on over to WAP. So there'll be a good incentive there for anyone who needs to book one-on-ones and to get more people involved here on the WAP. Ops in a good platform for me. So let's get in on this. U.S. Crypto Reserve. A U.S. crypto reserve will elevate this critical industry after years of corrupt attacks. Let's see here. My executive order on digital assets directed the Presidential Working Group to move forward on a crypto strategic reserve. Wow, that moves around a lot. And that includes XRP, SOL, and ADA. I will make sure the US is the crypto capital of the world and we're making America great again. So let's go ahead and check out a few charts, shall we? Let's go ahead and check out SOL USD. And let's go to the TradingView crypto charts. And yeah, wow. This thing was up about 10% when I first looked at it. Now it's up 22%. This thing is absolutely nutty. This is why you want to stay on top of your trade research, right? If you were here in the Trump Watch thread and you got these RSS feed notifications, which by the way are brand new. However, we still do have guys who are proactive, including myself, in posting anything Trump related. So if there's any Trump related news, because there are market moving Trump news events that don't get posted on Truth Social, like White House press secretary live streams, and just in general White House live streams like this one here with Zelensky. It's important to know when those live streams are happening, when they're kind of impromptu, and to get notified of when they're occurring as quickly as humanly possible. So then you can watch them and make sure that they don't blow up your account or whatever, put you into some risky positions. So we have this Trump Watch thread. It's the most followed thread in the research forum right now because of how useful it is, right? Trump is a big market mover. You want to get information as quickly as possible. So this is one of the most successful collaborative research threads that we have in this community in Plan the Profit. So I'm very happy with the success this thread has had so far, and especially during the first bout of tariffs that occurred back at the end of January. We traded those well. I was long dollar CAD back then as well. I have streams of that. So that was fun. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on. So yeah, we have the thread here, and if you want, make sure you hop into the Discord and check it out. And by the way, for anyone who's curious about if you're already in the Trump Watch thread and you're following this thread, you'll get notifications of every single post. But if you only want notifications for the Trump Truth Social posts, or if you want more direct pings for your Trump Watch thread posts, go to channels and roles, and there's a new option down here. Get pings of Trump Truth Social posts in the Trump Watch research thread. And this thread's going to be around for a long while. We'll go ahead and collapse that for a sec, put that back over there. So let's head back over here. So after this post, Trump actually made a clarifying retruth saying, hey, this obviously is going to include BTC and ETH. So let's go down to a 1 minute chart real quick. And let's go to BTC USD. BTC USD, the crypto chart. And let's go to Trump's Truth Social here. And let's tune down the music just a titty tad. There we go. So he made this post at 9:11 a.m. So let's find 9:11. That's right here. So from here on was the rise. So Bitcoin went up immediately 3% on that. And this was the initial tweet. So that's what, 724? Let's go back over here. Oh, 724. Yeah. Isn't that kind of cool? How Trump can move markets like that, like immediately. And there goes to show, hey, you need to be watching this information as quickly as possible. And getting this information as quickly as possible. Because when you get new information, other traders update their expectations for future prices. And trading is about getting exposure to the change in expectations. So obviously these guys made out like robber barons today. These guys are up 10%. Oh my god. Bitcoin's up 10% on the day. 10. Oh my god, man. How crazy. However, this might not necessarily be the end of any sort of down move, immediate down move, because I strategically set up this stream to start 30 minutes before the weekly market open in FX. And this brings us over to our next topic, but I will do one more thing. We have a piece in Bloomberg talking about, hey, Trump sparks crypto rally by saying more coins to be in reserve, right? XRP, Solana, Cardano. Cryptocurrency markets roared into March, full of optimism, recouping some of the losses from the asset class's worst month since 2020, after President Trump once again talked up his plan for a strategic crypto reserve. I won't go too much into this, but hey, Bloomberg is covering it. Oh yeah, and then this. Here, let's do a refresh of this page here. So this is a website called Hashdive, and this is a analysis tool of prediction markets. So everyone who does prediction market betting, wow, yeah, so these probabilities have been updated. So we have 3 scenarios here for the future of Bitcoin going forward. Hello, Richard, nice to see you. Oh, yeah, nice to see you again, Harold. Again, the multi-chat is going, so anyone who is on Kick, on YouTube, and I know there's probably a couple of guys hanging out on WAP, so I'm keeping an eye on the WAP chat just in case anyone is there. So yeah, we have 3 scenarios here for Bitcoin based on prediction market probabilities. And here's the really cool part. See this price forecast way down here? Check this chart out. Look at that. Isn't that cool looking? So this is a Bitcoin forecast based off of prediction price scenarios. So these are the 3 general scenarios that are expected and the probabilities assigned to them. So currently there's a 30% probability of Bitcoin going above 110K. 19.5% probability of Bitcoin going past 75K again. 13% probability of 120K. So if we go and we actually look at the visualization of those probabilities, it looks like we will still be hanging around the 90K mark for at least a couple of days, going into maybe March 5th, March 6th, March 7th. We start to get a little bit more uncertainty around here, but the skew of this, you can see that there's much more yellow and orange pointing in the up direction. So the probabilities are a bit more in favor based on prediction markets at around somewhere between March 9th and March 15th. That Bitcoin's somewhere between, call it 97K and 94K in that price range. And hopefully this is a helpful bit of analysis for you guys who are in and getting exposure to the crypto markets. So yeah, hopefully this was a really cool tool for you to check out and see. Let's go ahead and remember, you can hop into the Discord where we share charts like that, and hop into the trading group where we try and take action on charts like that. All right, now we're getting into the US tariff stuff. I read this thread. It wasn't terribly useful. I like Mish, but it wasn't terribly useful. Then oh man. Should we cover Ukraine first before we get into the tariffs here? Should we cover Ukraine first? I know it's a political, conversation starter, but we probably should be responsible here and actually cover it, because a lot of people who do trade stuff like the Eurodollar, right? If we go ahead and pull up the Eurodollar chart, they really need to see, like, they want money to get printed in Europe so then they can support Ukraine. But if they do that, they have to increase their debt limit, and there's a bunch of political happenings going on. So we really need to follow what's going on with the US relationship with Russia and Ukraine at the moment, to see how Europe is going to change or set their own expectations of how they want to interact with the United States going forward. We are about 6 minutes away from the market open. So instead of going super heavy on Ukraine right now, I am going to continue on with focusing on the tariffs. And this is a bit of commentary for guys who are in the trading group. But this was released February 21st, so this is old commentary. So I'm just going to expand this so then it's easy to see on the stream. And we're just going to go over this because the expectations in this report have not changed significantly at all. So, again, thank you guys for watching the stream so far. Remember to like it, remember to subscribe, remember to share it. Channel's still pretty small, but you know what, with the boom in activity today, especially with some help from the guys over at WAP, and just frankly with the amount of activity going on, starting a stream today with all the stuff going on with the crypto reserve is kind of a really good day to be streaming right now. It's just in the nick of time where everyone who's looking for information about where Bitcoin might go, is going to be looking at a trading stream for that. So let's go on here. And the reason why we're going to be looking at US tariffs in the immediate future is because not only do I have exposure to this myself, but I know because a lot of guys who I hang around have FX exposure, and look at that, man. What a nice little trade there that was. And these are all real trades, right? These are all real trade setups. Yep, some losers, some winners. Yeah, you can see right here. That was such a crazy trade, man. This was the last time the US tariffs came through, and you can see I got that bottom wick. I also got that trade in right there, and then we gapped up like this. So this is the main risk we could potentially see come in the next 4 minutes, is we are not expecting there to be any kind of improvement in the odds. I mean, all of the probability markets are now closed because all the probability markets were set up for the question, hey, will Canada or Mexico come to an agreement with the United States on tariffs so that then they can avoid those 25% tariffs? And so far the answer has been no, because now we are about 24 hours away from these 25% tariffs getting implemented on Canada and Mexico. All right. And it's not March 1st that they get implemented, it's March 7th. This was written kind of before March 4th was like the hardline date. We didn't know if it's a calendar month change or... Anyways, let's keep going. Yeah, this is a bit different. We'll go ahead and skip the Canada, but we will bring this up. Yeah, Trudeau tried to do some stuff with bringing military aid to the US-Canadian border, but it hasn't been great. And even way back then, the odds were like 91% chance that we were going to have tariffs between Canada and the United States. So this this hasn't changed at all. And if we scroll down, we'll get a little bit more interesting commentary here on the Mexican tariffs. Yeah, check this out. Wells Fargo went down to Mexico and they interviewed a bunch of companies. And they said no one we spoke to believes the Trump administration will impose the 25% tariff when the 30-day delay expires in March. And that was kind of the same ordeal with a lot of commentators in Canada, which is why I said this, I headlined this as Canada and Mexico are being kind of oblivious to tariffs and the risks. It's like, guys, all this talk about, oh, you can't take Trump literally. Oh, you can't take Trump seriously. No, that's, oh my God, it's a propagandist. It's a psyop. Like all this stuff about, oh, you can't listen to Trump. He might not actually do what he says. Most of the time when Trump says he's going to do something, he actually does it. I know, I'm sure there are scenarios, but when he doesn't follow through, but when Trump makes a, I'm going to try and get Mexico to pay for the wall, he's the 25% tariffs are probably going to end up doing that at this point. Now, here's one thing to keep in mind, particularly on the Mexico side. This was brought to my attention in that Wells Fargo commentary, and also when I checked it out on X, if anyone else was talking about this, apparently this is actually something that people are talking about a lot, which is that Pemex, which is this huge oil company in Mexico that sucks out all the oil in the Gulf for Mexico. Check this out. If Trump were to pressure Mexico economically because she, which is Sheinbaum, the president of Mexico, won't work with Trump on the border or cartels, then the likelihood of her getting recalled in 2027 goes from a black swan to, yeah, likely. So there's a presidential, in the last presidential election with Elmo, he actually put into the Mexican Constitution, hey, we can recall presidents now. So it'd be kind of interesting that the person who Elmo aligns with the most, if that person was the one who ended up getting recalled for the first time ever in Mexican history. That would be actually kind of funny. Significant economic stress from 25% tariffs then increases the likelihood of Pemex defaulting, also going up, since it's dependent on the government paying its enormous $100 billion debt. Pemex is so big that if it starts running into trouble, it will drag the Mexican government's fiscal budget down with it, which is why a bill was proposed to the Mexican Congress this month to allow for 10% of Pemex shares to be privately owned in order to release some of the debt's weight on Mexico's fiscal wallet. And this is a quote from someone on X. Half of Pemex's oil exports are to the USA. A 25% tariff would be the, quote, final blow for the company, is what this commentator says. And it would have very serious effects on Mexico's public finances. Mexico does not have the capacity to refine the oil that it would stop exporting. And then this is a bunch of stuff on, hey, I don't think Carney would be a good fit for Canadian Prime Minister. But this is the one little snippet I want you guys to know in Canada, and for you guys involved in Canada to know about. Also, we should be getting the market open right about now. No. Let's see here. Maybe it's on another chart. USD CAD, FXCM. No. Okay, cool. No huge, crazy gap. All right, perfect. USD CAD. All right, sweet. So let's head back here. All right, so for context on this Carney guy in Canada, when Carney was the governor, the man in charge of the Bank of England, the dude was ridiculed and criticized for being unreasonably anti-Brexit, releasing economic reports from the Bank of England saying that England's economy would effectively go into a depression if Brexit passed, because all of Carney's forecasts were based on a no-deal Brexit scenario, which didn't happen, and had black swan-like probability of occurring when it was even a risk, when it was even a thought. So, yeah, this guy is kind of an economic hitman. He'll go in, he'll do his thing, he'll probably be in office up until October 2025 at the latest, and then he will, there's a non-zero chance that he does fail a vote of confidence and we have an election earlier. One thing I will be interested in is if we go here to this chart, so this is where the tariffs come on. This is how much time left we have until the tariffs. We have about a day and a half, right? This is when Carney comes into power by being elected as the new head of the Liberal Party. And this is when Justin Trudeau set the date for when the Canadian Parliament will be back into business. So we have all this time from here to here to watch out for. And I actually have the question of, will Carney end this parade? Will he allow Parliament to get back to work earlier in order to more effectively start negotiations with the United States? Or will he try and do something here? Like, what would be the political move or the Machiavellian move? What would be the financial move? What can Carney do with Parliament not back? And how would it impact his reputation if he didn't effectively immediately call back Parliament, right? Like, especially if the US tariffs get put on and then Carney becomes leader and he keeps dragging this on and on and on and on and on. And then Parliament comes back and everyone's super upset about the tariffs. Like, dude, it's not looking great for Carney because he's getting in right when the tariffs are about to hit. Oh, here's a really big reason I don't think Carney's going to get along with Trump. And we'll probably see something along the lines of a Canadian-US trade. Let's see here. Let's see here. Carney becoming Canada's prime minister isn't likely to help in tariff or trade negotiations with the United States, either, since he's in favor of retaliatory tariffs, which will likely end up with another set of tariffs, with Trump's retaliatory tariff policy, where any counter tariffs placed on the US are matched. So if Trump puts on these 25% tariffs and Carney puts on, 18% tariffs in response to whatever, Trump has a reciprocity policy where it's like, okay, we'll just match your 18% on top of the 25 we put on over here. So it's really like, again, it'll slow down Canada's economy a lot more getting into a tariff pissing match with the United States than it will hurt the United States economically. So I can't imagine Trump will get along with Carney, who's a renowned globalist, who stood serious in opposition to Trump's current allies in the UK. A lot of the reform guys actually were involved in this whole thing with the no Brexit deal and actually getting this passed, right? So Carney, as the next head of state for Canada, is also, going to be a woke, greeny, globalist central banker who proactively tried to suppress nationalist agendas. Carney's going to be up against a political brick wall, since the Canadian Conservative Party is still incredibly popular right now. And I know there's been this reflexive rise in the polls for the Liberals in Canada, but I've asked a ton of Canadians, like, what's this all about? And some people have said something along the lines of, like, a few Canadian economists I've listened to have actually said something along the lines of, oh, this rebound, and maybe I can pull up a chart here if I go to Canadian opinion polling. Yeah, this chart right here. Look at that. The red line is the Liberal Party having its reflexive rebound. And people are saying, oh, this is because of US tariffs. We're seeing this rebound here in the Liberal Party's support because people think that Carney will be able to fight the United States better. And I'm like, why would you even use words like that? Why would you say fight the United States? You want to come to an amicable agreement. You want to go back to the USMCA. If you want trade with the United States to work in a non-combative way, you have to be diplomatic and negotiate. And right now, Trump is kind of through with being diplomatic and negotiating because, well, first off, he was going to have to deal with Trudeau until he stepped down, and Shenenbaum has been playing goalie for the cartels for all intents and purposes, right? So, and by the way, Hegseth, in a leaked memo, it came out sometime in late January, went to his counterpart in Mexico and said something along the lines of, hey, if Mexico doesn't deal with the cartels, the US will. And that's when you had a lot of these cartels getting labeled as terrorist organizations. Finally. God, I remember asking for that back when there was that special report sent to Congress. Brought that up on a stream, I think, one time. There was a special report sent to Congress talking about all the different cartels and what they did and what they traded in and what territory they controlled, like a whole fact sheet about the cartels. And one of the recommendations was, please make them terrorists, declare them as terrorist organizations, so then we can get rid of them. So now they're officially declared, and now it's more or less a matter of time until. I'll bring this up. If I scroll up a little bit here, let's see. It doesn't seem like it's here. Oh, actually, it is here. Yeah. Yeah. This specific amendment. So there was an amendment that got passed. Let me just read this to give the full context. More interestingly, I learned about Alamo's 2019 constitutional reform that allows a recall of the Mexican president. Now, Shenenbaum is the current president of Mexico. Shenenbaum is a globalist greenie, essentially Mexican Hillary Clinton clone, who's kind of limp-wristed on the cartels. Recently complaining more about U.S. spying on the cartels. So the U.S. is spying on the cartels, and the Mexican government is complaining about the cartels getting spied on. And then she's refusing to acknowledge the cartels as terrorists alongside the United States. She's refusing to cooperate with the United States on that declaration, and proposing a constitutional amendment that, quote, states, the Mexican people will not accept under any circumstances interventions, interference, or any other act from abroad that could be harmful to the integrity, independence, and sovereignty of the nation. Essentially as a preempt saying, we don't want the US to get involved at all with coming into Mexico and potentially threatening our sovereignty, even if that means they're coming in here to clean up our own mess with these cartels. So this specific amendment is increasing speculation that the Mexican government is afraid of potential U.S. cross-border military operations against the cartels, and that Shenenbaum is trying to create some kind of legal structure to retaliate against the U.S. Within Mexico. That's a typo. Sounds a lot like something that would help the cartels more, this whole ordeal. This sounds like essentially pitching as the goalie, right? Something that would help defend the cartels, then it would actually help the Mexican government. Because, if you were actually against the cartels and Trump is like, hey, let us send the military in there to get rid of these cartels. Sure, we'll give you these guarantees about Mexican sovereignty. Let's just get this mess cleaned up. I don't see why Shenenbaum wouldn't want to try and negotiate how to get that done faster, right? This turns out was to be the primary concern from one of the businesses Wells Fargo talked to, only one. Quote, one corporate group that Wells Fargo, when they went and did their trip to Mexico and talked to a bunch of corporations, one corporation shared their view that the U.S. escalating trade threats, as well as designating cartels as terrorist organizations and stepping up military surveillance of narco groups, was preparation for a U.S. invasion of Mexico similar to the mid-1850s. And considering the conversation that I've now learned that Hegseth had with his counterpart in Mexico, I I wouldn't put it as a terribly low probability that something like this is now on the table at this point. So this is kind of serious. This is extremely, extremely, extremely serious. Yeah, and then that's Mexico. All right. So we had no major gap in the US dollar. We had no craziness happen in the FX side of things. We had a wonderful move in Bitcoin today. A wonderful move in Bitcoin today, up $8,000. We had a wonderful move probably in ETH, right? I haven't checked the ETH chart today yet. Yep, ETH is up 13%. Sol USD up 21%. ADA USD up 60%. Cardano is up 60%. It went from 65 cents to $1.50. That is a huge, huge move. Huge, huge move. And we have one more, right? XRP USD. Yeah, that's right. Up 32%, plus 71 cents on the day. That's insane. That's actually insane. Will this be the start of? Will this be the start of the next bull run? Is this over now? Not quite. You know, it's the announcement that Trump has the intent and wants to create a crypto reserve. And I actually heard from Steno Larsen on X. I read his post saying, hey, why would the US announce that it's going to be doing these operations until it's actually made all these purchases? Because now they're just making it more expensive for the US government to be buying their reserve. Wouldn't the US government want to quietly build up a position over time rather than like say, hey, we're gonna be buying billions of dollars worth of crypto and then end up having to pay more and more and more and more than they would have had to otherwise, right? It's just people front running the US government. So systematically, I think there's going to be upward pressure on all these cryptos. When it comes down to in the short to intermediate term, if there's going to be any sort of rebound, well, that's where the 25% tariffs, and if there's any sort of border conflict with Mexico coming into the equation, it could lead to some more risk off with the US dollar potentially getting stronger on those fronts. Especially, you know what, I mean, if there's a peace deal with Russia and Ukraine, that'll be good for the euro more so than the US dollar, frankly. Right? We go to Euro USD. And by the way, we're getting to the point now where I'm ready to start taking on some questions. And if anybody wants to ask me some questions in person, you're free to do so. Also, if I could move these things aside here and get access to the Discord. Yeah. So I'm hanging out here in the streaming voice chat. That's why you see me in the top left-hand corner of the stream. So if you have any questions, just hop into the general voice chat or the trading room voice chat, and I can say hi to you. You can ask your question in person, or you can ask your question here in the chat when it comes down to any of these geopolitical things. I also, as a matter of fact, so yeah, we'll probably see some kind of rebound on peace negotiations. We'll see. But the current situation with France and Germany's parliaments, right, the Bundestag and the National Assembly, they're pretty much in gridlock over there. Though don't get me wrong, if it's an SPD, CDU coalition in the German Bundestag, that coalition, you know, the Grand Coalition, will have an 18-person majority out of a 630-person Bundestag, so not huge. But if both the CDU and the SPD are lockstep tight, just like what's going on with the US government right now, it's really, really, really tight majority. I think they got like 2 or 3 people. I'm not exactly sure what the exact number is that the Republicans in the House of Representatives have a majority by in the United States. But they've been lockstep voting party lines, all the members in the House of Representatives, and they've been getting laws passed. I'm pretty sure they got a portion of, I think, the fiscal budget in the United States passed. They've been getting things done by being in step with each other, voting along party lines. So when it's a coalition, you have technically 2 party lines. We'll have to see what kind of deal gets formulated between the CDU and the SPD. And if they can't come to terms, then the CDU SPD is going to have to involve the Greens, and at that point it's a coalition that probably gets nothing done. It'll be Kenny apocalypse, as we looked at in another stream. So yeah, say hi, and looking forward to any questions that come on through here. At least I'm glad that more people are watching the streams. I'm so happy with the new stream layout. We got better music, we got better chat windows, we got a better stream schedule. You can now go to the Plan the Profit YouTube channel or the Plan the Profit Discord and see all the events for all the streams. So these are all the streams planned out at least a week ahead for now. So whenever I take some time, you'll see the number of events go up for when new streams are planned ahead of time. Most of the streams are going to be planned for economic events that are on the calendar, but every now and again, we have some scams that are occurring here, so we gotta watch out for those scams, right? Again, don't click on links if they're not from me specifically, right? Especially not in the Discord. So we'll see what's going on with those scams in a bit after the stream. I'll take care of that as an ad. All right, and man, what was the other thing I was going to talk about? I mean, I kind of had a brain fart there once I saw the report scams chat light up. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Let's go ahead and actually check out trading for the day on Eurodollar. All right. I'm not particularly biased in any direction here. I'd want to wait until London session before actually using this indicator to make a trading decision at the moment. Let's go ahead and check out the boss bands. Well, the boss bands are certainly bearish. That's a bearish outlook there. How about on the day? It's more neutral when you go to a daily and you pull out here. Okay, you can see the bands are tightening a bit. Yeah, bearish, 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 bearish trend all the way down. Yeah, good stuff. Let's go ahead and actually check out the probability pivots for the week here. So where do the lows for the current week, the very first week of March, usually come in for the euro dollar? Survey says right around here. Let's see here. How far is that? How much lower is that? That's about 70 to 100 pips lower. So let's go ahead and set up an alert here on the euro side. So if it dips down here super early on in the week, but again, going past that S1, that S1.5 pivot, probably not fantastic. So past S1.5, you're dealing with a falling knife scenario. And then 102 seems to be, about sub 102 seems to be the next best spot. How about the closing odds? What do the closing odds look like here? where do most of the closes for the week occur? Wow, this is kind of an ugly histogram. So most of the time you get a more neutral to slightly positive drift in the closes. So charts that look like this or kind of like that, right? And sometimes even like this. But there's a frequent enough occurrence throughout history seasonally for this particular week where you have closes here and closes here. So that would look like this. So that whole 102 scenario here for the euro dollar, not looking fantastic. Not looking fantastic. Again, I'm digging chart requests, you guys, right? If you want me to look at a particular chart or you got a question about stuff, now is the time. Otherwise, I won't keep the stream going too much longer, right? I need content. I need interaction, right? I need people to hang out with. Let's see, anyone hop into the voice chats? No. No, not yet. I'll actually go ahead and move this over and zoom out a bit. I'll keep this on another tab, on another window. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Man, I'm having a lot more fun streaming, that's for sure. All right. Oh, actually, I'll bring back the Discord window real quick. So, you know, I was like, oh, you know, we can set stuff up and whatnot. Ah, so that's what's going on here. Yeah, we're gonna. Let's see here. Can I ban this person? No, just delete the message. Yeah, so that's what was going on. Gotcha. Did the person also, yeah. Can I just ban this account? Yeah, ban. Ban everything, ban. There we go, all cleaned up, all good now. Here in the Plan the Profit servers, trade forums, we have a pinned message here. Oh, trying to grab the corner of the window. If I close this. So you'll see this is the trade forums. During the streams, I understand that sometimes it's impossible to write up your entire trade thesis with charts and whatever, but if you want me to actually review trade plans live on stream or particular geopolitical topics or look over trading results or a trade blog or whatever, or just talk about something specific over the stream that's maybe none of those things, this is a thread that says, hey, you know, do that here in the trades forum. Post trade logs, trade results, stream topics, and this will give you enough space in a forum, right? You can go ahead and add any photos you want here. You can add texts and like, hey, here's my bullish scenario, here's my bearish scenario, and then I can actually review it, go over it with some of my indicators. And then hopefully, after you've been doing that for a while, I'll see you in the trade group, right? I'll hopefully see you in the trade group, and then you can start doing analysis with these indicators on your own autonomously. Heyo, portfolio. If Trump finds out the gold is missing, how would it affect the markets? Oh my god. Yeah, that's right, all the Fort Knox gold. Oh, I saw this picture on X of, the caption was, what the employees at Fort Knox are doing right now, and it was a picture of a brick and a can of golden spray paint. This is like, oh man, we need the gold. We need to make it look like we have more of the gold. I'm kind of skeptical, but how about this? Let's actually go check out the prediction markets. But how about this? Before we check out the prediction markets, my expectation is that the gold will be there. The gold will be there. That's my expectation. Oh, and check that out. This is, hey, will Ukraine agree to the Trump mineral deal? This is another major one. Hey, no. No, it's kind of split right now, 50-50, that Ukraine won't take the mineral deal. And then here is Trump-Ukraine war ends in first 90 days. The odds are 80% no. So that's just some Ukraine stuff, but I wanted to use and steal this real quick. So Yeah, right there. Gold missing from Fort Knox. That's what we want. Let's go ahead and check out the market insights here. Let's put that over here so it's a little easier for you guys to see. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and see how this turns out. Bum, bum. Wow, there's a lot of volume in this market, huh? $1.1 million total volume. Wow. Gold missing from Fort Knox. Okay. So, yes, 14.5% chance based on the prediction market that gold is missing from Fort Knox. So I'm in this no category. I'm in the 85%. Now let's check this out. Wow, the people who actually vote no are slightly more accurate and make more money usually with their prediction market bets than the people who bet yes. So not only are the people who bet no usually more historically accurate and perform better based on their their historical, their past performance, but it's also 85%, 85.5, 86% if you round up. Yeah, so it looks pretty good here. Hopefully that answers your question there, Portfolio. That was a good question. That's a very good question. Very, very topical. And I had just saw that this prediction market show up in Hashdive earlier today too. Ah, good stuff. All right, you guys. Stream's been going on for about an hour. I'm ready to chill at this point here. Let me go ahead and do a little something. Head on back over to the charts. So on the Eurodollar side, I think that the US tariffs with Mexico are going to make the US dollar stronger, and we won't necessarily have peace immediately with Ukraine, and we're not going to have a coalition probably this week. So we'll see how the coalition talks go in Germany. But my expectation would be that there's more risk to the downside in this scenario here on the euro. But then again, you can, of course, see my chart here. I had a pretty good damn expectation here, right? I set this expectation on February 23rd. I shorted up here. And so far, the expectation's been met and the short's been profitable. So let's see if it's any more profitable going into the week ahead. Alrighty, you guys. With that all said and done, I will see you in tomorrow's stream. I'll go ahead and end it. And if you want, remember to subscribe and check out the streams that are planned ahead. You can find those on the Plan the Profit YouTube channel, and you can find them now on the Discord right over here in the events tab. And come on in, check us out, and check out the research forum, especially the Trump Watch. Did we get a new thing here? Illegal border crossings last month were the lowest ever recorded. Again, if you want, make sure to hop in, do some trade research with us. We were looking at some Greece stuff going on earlier last night. Come on and join the community. Let's go ahead and make some money. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's stream. All right, see you guys in a bit.
is, and they banned those.
Interesting.
DJI products
Yo.
are